Where's the love for Chloe and Xion? Please stop. They were also one of my favorites. I didn't want to say them too because I didn't want to get more sad. Dude, I watched every Xion translated video because I loved Xion, and I also really liked Chloe because Gooby and I would always talk about how much we love Chloe. Oh, bro, I'm sick. I'm sick. Anytime, I'm not gonna say who my other favorites are, y'all. I'm not trying to. I'm just. Stop depressing her. It's okay, guys. I try. We talked about the other ones, so we may as well bring up every single other talent. You know, Fauna too. I really did like Fauna too, but it is what it is. As long as they're happier now, that's all that matters. Yep. Please don't tell me you love anyone from Advent for my sanity. I'm not going to confirm anything. I've decided to just no longer speak. I think we should have had a feeling about this with Honkai Star Rail with all of my favorite characters from Honkai Star Rail. Oh my god. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to joke about that. It's a very serious thing, guys. But yeah. Numi, please don't tell me you like Natalie so she can be around forever. All right, joke's over. Get out of here, buddy. Door's that way. The door's that way. Gura's. I think one big thing with Gura's is just everybody knows Gura, you know? She was always such a shining beacon of light and inspiration for so many. Not to say the others weren't, but I do think it's because like you go over to a random place and you ask them if they know a VTuber. The person they're likely going to know is Gura. I think that's just she was very, very popular with the public too. So it's a big smack to everybody. All of like the normies on my timeline were like, no f***ing way, Gura. So Yeah, but there's been more shining beacons other than her. Never said there wasn't. I think everybody is a shining light, but I do think for the West, that was one of the big ones that put things on the map. Like for me, the big ones that got me into it, aside of like EN, the first gen, was Korone and Miko, so and Pecoras. That, which I think was a lot for other people too. Us Dodger fans are in shambles. Surely they've been doing okay still. I've been informed she's the LeBron of VTubers. Yeah. More of a fan of Callie myself, but that still hurt to hear she was leaving. I think that's one big thing to take from it. With any talent graduating is that, you know, we all have our main, like, Oshis, of course, but these kinds of things are still enough to just rattle everybody because it's kind of scary. It's scary, you know? It's a shift. The Dodgers are never going to win again. Okay, y'all. I think that I have no idea how it would be afterwards because I know that some of them would love to go like indie after, and I don't think it would be fair to expect content and stuff from them when I know for a couple of them one thing that they would be worried about is like the spotlight or the pressure, and I think it would be a little unfair to have pressure for them if they did ever want to come back. There shouldn't be pressure for them to have this big comeback or expectation when I think on their mind they're just trying to do what's best for their own mental health first. Yeah. A pirate VTuber would slay. My favorite pirate VTuber is Marin, so Corpo is scary. I think there's good parts of it too. They provide a lot of opportunities, and I think what a lot of fans may not know is that back in the day before things got to where they are today, for a lot of us, joining a corpo was one of the cool, like one of the ways that we thought, hey, this is maybe a way for us to be able to follow our dreams and be like a YouTuber or a VTuber. Bro uttered her name, We're Cook. Stop! It's not happening! Get her name out of mouth. Y'all chill, please. Chill. She said she's fine, guys. She said she's comfortable, please. Just like with normal YouTubers, you don't need... Okay, but back then, it was such a new thing that for me and a lot of my friends, we thought that was like the way for us to get maybe a start, you know, to have some recognition. And that's why so many of us were excited to audition for companies back then. But now things have gotten so much better that like now you can make it as an indie and you can make it as a YouTuber, which is such a blessing. And it's something that would have never, ever been possible if not for, you know, HoloLive and a lot of these first initial VTubers that we know and love. It would have never been a thing otherwise. Or maybe it could have been, but maybe not as big as it is right now. Yeah, because back then that's what we thought was the way to do it. And I think a lot of people have become fans within the past couple years, but it didn't start to become way bigger for a lot of indies until what, 2022? 2023, because that's when I think I started to notice indies were starting to become a little more popular on Twitch, at least. Although I don't know how it is for YouTube. I don't know how it's been for YouTube VTubers that aren't part of a corpo. I don't know how hard it is on that, so I can't speak on that. But yeah, but the niche is slaying right now. And I think it's really because of how they paved the way for us. 2022 was the indie boom, right? Yeah. I think it was 2022. I think our biggest boom for the Numi Nation was what, 2023 maybe? I think it was like 2023. I know I had a lot of good vibes in 2023. In my head, it was the Orcat that blew up the indieverse. I just remember that like me and like Lily and a couple other VTubers from like January 2022 to like March all of a sudden exploded. Like I just remember one day I was like, wow, I have over 1,000 viewers, and then within around that same time went from like 1,000 to like 3,500 to 4,000 or something, which was crazy. And then I looked around and I was like, wow, everybody's freaking flying and going places. This is wild. Yeah. It would have happened regardless. Okay, it would have taken longer, but the demand is there. It just happened that those companies were there first, but it's not like we owe them anything. I disagree. I do think we owe... You just said it would have happened and it would have taken longer. I'm not gonna... Like, I do think that we owe them a thank you because, yeah, like, who's to say that if it wasn't there... Like, if that wasn't there, like, yeah, this could have been a thing, but there's no way it would have been able to get to this level of, you know... popularity, or just people would not have been able to find out about it as much if not for like just piquing the general interest of the general public of, you know, people. And that's what I'm saying. That's just how I feel about it. Because I literally would not have known what a VTuber was if not for HoloLive. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I would have ever figured it out if not for that, because I wasn't really like in the anime community. I wasn't on Twitch. I had no idea about it. I literally just saw a random clip of HoloLive and that's what got me into it. But can you say my name out loud so I can be sure that I'll graduate from college? Please, please, thanks. Sorry, bro, it ain't happening. You wasted your money. I think you wasted your reply. Flop, flop, flop. Anyways, graduate king. Come on, Bash, graduate. Replies there. Flop, flop. You think I don't read my chat? Flop. Was I a HoloLiver? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Boo! Tomato, tomato to that guy. Always manifest and believe in yourself. Your Oshi will reply to you sometime if you're kind and respectful. Corpos and clippers together made the whole thing. Dude, those clippers ate, bro. Flop. Boo! Tomato. You found yours through gacha games. Yeah, you know, that's one good thing is with like gacha games. If there's one thing about gacha game lovers is that like I don't even think they care about the fact that the people they watch are VTubers. It's more like, yeah, we like your content and you happen to be a VTuber. Like Mina's fans are not really VTuber fans. Like most of her fans don't really give a about VTubers. Or it's like they do, but it's very casual. They just like her because she plays really good when she plays Honkai Star Rail and other games. And then like I asked her about that. She's like, yeah, they're just like normal, chill, like 9-to-5 people who like don't really watch VTubers. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's why they don't really know me, or they only know me because of Mina. Not strap sister enjoyers. Yeah, the next episode was supposed to be out this week, but our editor, we had to get a different, like, oh, well, it's different. We now have 2 editors, so we can have our consistent back-to-back again. We're trying to make sure we have bi-weekly content by Anime Expo, because we're thinking of doing a meet and greet together at Anime Expo. Yay. I started watching you because of Mina. I never seen VTubers before that. See, that's crazy. You're just like, oh, this person's an anime person playing an anime game. I guess that makes sense. Oh, and her friend is also an anime girl. Oh, that makes sense. You discovered me from Shy Lily clips. I do love Shy Lily. An anime girl playing an anime game. That makes sense. I'm lesbian. Wow, I'm an ally. Congratulations. I was around for Kizuna Ai and Shiro, but it was early Hollow EN and the first waves of Niji Sanji EN that really brought me into the fold. Yeah, same here. Except I'm not really Niji. I was never into like Niji EN. Mainly because at that point I was already deep into being a VTuber, so I just didn't have time to really watch the Niji EN people. Because I think their boom happened while I was a VTuber already. Discovered because of the Bao video where you roasted her. So every video of me and Bao. Hey, me by surprise. Being a VTuber fan with a job is so painful. That's being a gacha gamer with a job because they want you to do dailies. They want you to do dailies, stay up to date with all of those missions. And I can't catch up with it anymore unless it's games like Honkai Star Rail where you can have the auto button, man. I just can't. You found me in the recommended from videos for Michael Reeves? Hello? Did not expect that one. Jobs let us buy pulls. Real and true. I'm finding this out now because I got into Nikkei. You got into Nikkei? Nikkei's dailies are f***ing crazy, dude. And it's hard. Games like Nikkei are really difficult because you can't even pay to win if you want to pay to win. You like have to play to advance in the game. Like you can't pay to advance. They're like, nope, you still gotta grind every f***ing day. Whereas for games like Honkai Star Rail and stuff, at least you're able to get a good head start. You know, you're able to get a good head start and you don't have to do it every single day if you have the funds to like do it. Hi, Mimi. I'm Numi. I was just in New York. You were a fan of my music before finding out I was a VTuber. That is becoming more common these days, which is crazy to me. I've had so many, like, I think it was the New York concert because that was on my Spotify page. That venue made it so that you could buy tickets through Spotify. Whereas LA and Amsterdam, you had to buy it directly from like Discord and stuff. So like people on Spotify had no idea about those concerts really because they didn't let us put the page on Spotify, but I know on Spotify they had it specifically for New York. So a lot of the fans that went to the New York concert didn't watch my stream. So they were just listening to my music. They're like, yeah, I had no idea you were a streamer. And I just kind of stood there. I said, oh, damn. And I get that now maybe 15% of the time when I'm out in public nowadays, at conventions or meet and greets and stuff. It's crazy to me, man.